Grand Arena kicked off today for Marvel Snap and is bringing with it a new Series 4 card, Wade Wilson. You can get this for free by grinding the game mode, or you can spend 800 gold and buy the pass and unlock the card instantly without having to play any games at all. You can also grind for other extra cosmetic rewards and a nominal amount of credits in the game mode as well. Everything about Grand Arena is the same as the last time that it ran in terms of how the game mode functions, with one key asterisk being that there's no custom decks allowed this time. So they've always had pre-built decks that any players can play without owning any of the cards, but this time that's the only option. So you've got 8 champions with 8 different decks, and that's all you get. One upside to this being the case should be that, well, if it's only 8 decks with just the 12 cards contained in those decks and the champions and their champion spells, it should be well balanced. It's a well controlled environment, so all of these decks should pretty much be viable, right? Not right. Let's go ahead and dig on into the data and talk about which decks are the best for getting the most out of this game mode. I would like to kick things off by giving the asterisk that I'm looking at a very early data set on Untapped. We've got just shy of 10,000 games logged here, and so these could change a little bit as it matures more. We'll give an update in my weekend best decks roundup after we have some post OTA data to populate. Also, apologies for the champions themselves currently being grayed out on the Untapped tracker that I'm looking at. This is Weapon X for Destroy, and this is Black Panther here at the top. The Black Panther deck looks to be number one with a bullet out of these 8 pre-made decks at a 2.2% win rate, with Destroy coming in second at 52.6. Yeah, that's right. I've got these sorted by win rate, and Black Panther's over 60, and the next highest is 52.6%. As we scroll, things get really bleak really quickly. The ongoing deck is barely 50%. The Iron Man deck is barely 50%. And then the other 4 decks are below 50%. Annihilus is just below, but then they fall off really hard. The Rocket Raccoon is not even 44%, and then these other 2 decks, the Sentinel as well as Thanos decks, are right around 40%. Now, a couple of things to note. This is Untapped data, not the entire population of Marvel Snap as a whole, which comes with a couple of biases. The first is that all of these win rates are not going to add up to a nice even number because we don't have like the opponent's win rates inside of it. In my experience looking at Untapped data tends to skew high, i.e. players who are more competitive at Marvel Snap are more likely to be the ones running a deck tracker like Untapped, meaning you would expect these win rates on average to be higher. This game mode also has bots included in it, including bots for when you lose too many games in a row. So there's a good chance that in the general player population, all of these win rates are actually lower than what they're displayed here, and their win rates against humans are absolutely lower because you should be beating bots most of the time, while human matches are going to be a little bit, more balanced and back and forth. I have to say, as someone who was vocally against the idea of having only pre-made decks for this mode, I just love deck building. The one upside to it being only pre-made decks should have been that this mode was well balanced. Generally speaking, card games are complicated and there's lots of variables to account for as players are going to build in lots of different ways. It's more natural for things to be a little bit less balanced as things get explored in these shorter time modes, but this is a really controlled environment. There's only 8 champions. There's only 11 other cards with each of those champions. Second Dinner should have been able to test this reasonably. And while, I wouldn't expect perfect 50% win rates across the board, multiple of these decks being close to 40% with bots inflating them and being in skewed data on the Untapped tracker really makes this event seem like it's playing out to be something of a disaster. Players complain about playing constant mirror matches, and the way it looks like this Black Panther deck is so much better than everything else, there's probably going to be a lot of mirrors. Personally, I just bought the pass for 800 gold. I'm flush with resources. I don't think I'm going to engage with this mode at all. I just the deck building aspect is what I want, and it doesn't have that in here. I hope if they bring Grand Arena back in the future and they want to have pre-made decks just against pre-made decks, one, they need to be balanced a lot better than it looks like this batch of decks is looking to be. And two, there's really no reason other than technical limitations that we couldn't have a pre-made decks only queue and a custom decks only queue. So you could let the players who want that pre-made deck experience and don't want to play into potentially more powerful custom decks, they could have that experience self-contained, and those players like myself that want to deck build and tune and test can have a queue where we can do that against other people and still complete the game mode and get the rewards. I gotta say, I'm a little bit sad overall because Grand Arena is one of my favorite ways to play Marvel Snap. I like that there's no reason to retreat and you play the games out, and I've enjoyed the new deck building experiments in the past with these champions and their spell cards, and hopefully they'll return to that again at some point in the future. Now, if you're someone who's on the fence and you're like, is it worth grinding for this? If it's going to be a bunch of mirrors, I'm not going to have fun. One piece of information I can give you is that my initial opinion on Wade Wilson feels a little bit low. This graphic is actually 1 point off. He actually released slightly better than this. He's a 2-2 with this text box, but he's just really slow to get going and kind of clunky overall. You can see some gameplay with him on my Deck Highlights channel, linked in the video description down below. As always, if you have any feedback on this game mode or anything else related to Marvel Snap, I'd encourage you to direct that to Second Dinner. Their Discord server is very active, and they also have accounts on a few other social media groups as well. Be constructive and specific in it. If you're someone that really likes this mode with only pre-built decks, you should play it a ton. If you're someone who doesn't like this mode without pre-built decks, I'd encourage you to do like myself and just not engage with it at all. While Second Dinner is obviously going to take the anecdotes that people offer up on social media, such as videos like this one in their Discord server, into account. Ultimately, they're going to be very data driven, and if lots of people are playing this mode with only pre-built decks, I'm sure it's something that will return in the future. And if it has notably less engagement than the mode otherwise did when it has more customization options, I'm sure that it'll be less likely to return looking like this as well. If you're looking for data on things past Grand Arena or an update on these stats after we've had some more data populate, be sure you're subscribed to this channel. I'll be posting my weekend decks roundup for the start of the season, highlighting what's doing well after the OTA and in general by the metrics on Untapped, and in my own anecdotal experience, probably late Saturday night or early Sunday morning once you had a chance for a bunch of data to populate. Make sure you smash the like button on this one if you enjoyed my musings. As always, I appreciate everybody that made it all the way through to the end of today's video, and I hope your next snap pack is an excellent one. This video is only 7 minutes and 40 seconds currently, so to let you in on the YouTube game, I'm going to fill 20 seconds in here at the end, because if the video gets to 8 minutes, I get to put ads in the middle of it, which puts a couple of extra YouTube pennies in my pocket. So if you've ever wondered why so many videos on YouTube are 8 minute and 1 second long, that is exactly why. This one might even be 8 minutes and 2 seconds long, gamer. Ooh, peeks behind the curtain.